My name is Gema Sandoval. I am a choreographer of Mexican folk dance and have been doing this for almost 35 years now, based out of Los Angeles. And because I have been doing this for a while and started out strictly in Mexican folk dance and strictly at the time as a means to establish myself as an individual, I have, I think, grown within the tradition to the point that I want to not only do Mexican folk dance, but rather the essence of what that has taught me to show how I really am an American in a different way. And I have, over the past 10, 11, maybe even 12 years, culled down and that into various permutations to where I think what I do is tell our story in a different way. The wonderful thing I think about this point in time for me is that I have found young people that are of a similar voice. When I was younger, and I was doing this kind of thing, I found that the folk dancers did not want to go anyplace else except that was what they wanted to say. And whenever I went in this direction, they usually very lovingly said, "We love you, but this is where we part ways." Mm-hmm. So what I did is I started a school at the beginning, and for all that we do in the school is we just teach the Mexican folk dance. At that point, we don't do anything else. However, in the company, in what they see of the company, as they look further down the line, they see that we're doing other things. And I think what that gives them is the notion that they have options and that it's okay to take those options. I think it's very freeing, so that when they are asked to participate with us, they don't mind trying out new stuff. They don't mind doing the same steps with a different context. And they don't mind telling much more personal stories that otherwise would not be possible within folk dance, because folk dance is about putting your best foot forward always, and being an archetype always. Happy, happy people from happy, happy places. And there's nothing wrong with that, except that it's a very incomplete story. I guess in a way it is the fact that I am given permission to do exactly all the things that I just said, that there is an organization that actually validates what I have been doing, feeling that I was out of step, and all of a sudden it's okay. There's an organization that says you are not only okay, but there's other people that are doing the same thing you are doing. For the Performing Diaspora, I proposed to do a danced presentation of Rudy Anaya's Bless Mi Ultima. It's a wonderful Chicano novel that's been around for over 30 years. And it really, as a teacher, when I was a teacher, it was always a way to reach the students where literature did not always reach, because the themes of straddling culture and the themes of always having to make adjustments to your life so that it works, and of defining yourself by what is around you, but also by who you really are, and in the end, somehow, in a very syncretic way, making your personal choices about who you are and where you're going to go forward in your life. It was very, very clear that it reaches truths not only about people in general, but certainly our young kids who don't always see themselves mirrored in society. I decided to do something that would speak of the fact that we want to be part of the society, but what we do is not necessarily in step with that. So I chose contemporary music, and I chose Mexican folk dance steps that would go with this contemporary music to show how the two things do go well together. It gives the whole thing a different feel. The fact that I am following a roadmap with the novel made it really much simpler to do, because the choices in terms of where do I go next are made for me in a way, because the novel, I tried to follow the storyline. I need to know if what I've done is clarified to the audience, whether they have read the book or not, if they draw the inferences that I have tried to put in there for them to know, to see rather, if the music works for it or against it, if it is a universal story, or, as I have been accused of doing by critics, a personal view that is not clear to anyone but myself. So that is it. For academic purposes, I have seen several people do it. For them, it's more of a pedagogical pursuit. I have seen it done for purely fun reasons. You know, I want to learn this dance kind of thing. But I have not seen it done in order to establish your voice in a cultural tradition, which I guess would bother me. But I have not seen that happen. I've seen it more, you know, I want to know what this culture is about. I want to find out how I can do it. I want to teach my children how to do this in my classroom. Or I am a professor at whatever in a university, and I want to have this as part of my knowledge base. And it doesn't bother me that way. And I understand it is much more of an issue if what you do is the flavor of the month. Mine is not. I'm very much led by the music, I think. Usually I develop a theme once I hear something that moves me. This has been slightly different in that I have the framework of the novel, and so then I need to decide what music best fits the particular subplot issue that we're dealing with. I don't think this has musical unity as other things would. In our lives, in the life of this little boy, music comes in and out, and it's one of the adjustments you have to make to life. Are we either or are we an amalgam of all those? It's a question that I still at my age ask myself all the time. So, and I don't think it has to do so much with a specific ethnicity, but part of the fact that we are Americans in this country where we are of so many cultures, and we influence and impact each other whether we care to admit it or not. It evolved. It has evolved. Initially, it was a way of saying, I am me. In those early days, it was definitely about saying, I am who I am. As I've moved along, as I have had children and grandchildren, it's about passing on who I am, who I come from, and those values and the good things that gives you, that certainty that gives you, the clarity of vision that can give you if you allow it to. I think that's what it is.